Hello, everybody. Welcome back to The Nexus. This is, of course, where we spotlight some of our favorite local businesses. I'm your host, Taylor Tunison, Communication Director of True North Technologies, and I'm joined by a special guest, Jim White of Fairways Golf Course here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Just a couple of housekeeping things. We do have our Tap On It deal still going on in April. Feel free to check out our last show. We did quite a detailed dive on our package. We're also launching a couple new services recently. Social media management. We're also doing some blog writing. We've got some more deals, so feel free to check out our previous show if you would like to learn more about Tap On It. We also have a great new blast coming out this week, tomorrow, I believe. We've got a deal from, Walker Tire and Point S Quick Nicks. You get $10 off any oil change. They also have some details in there. I think you get a free car wash from Jet Splash. Definitely check out Tap On It if you're not familiar. We've got plenty of information on our website, go-tnt.com. You can also text TAP ON IT to 82928. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Jim from Fairways. Welcome, Jim.
Thanks, Taylor. Good to be here.
Great. Well, it's great to have you. I'm glad we could have you here on a great Wednesday. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your background?
Well, basically, I graduated from Hastings College and Hastings High prior to that. In 1972, a long time ago.
Okay.
Got involved in the golf business kind of by chance a little bit. One of my friends had just gotten the job at the Country Club of Lincoln, and I didn't know what I wanted to do when I got out of college, so he said, why don't you come work for me for the summer? And at the end of the summer, I decided that was kind of a career path that I think interests me and felt like I could do well in. And so that's how it started anyway back then. And And it's been quite a ride ever since. So.
It's obviously taken an interest. You've taken an interest to it. I mean, you've been around. You've done tournaments. You've been involved in the PGA, I believe. Is that true?
Well, yeah. I mean, PGA. There's a couple different segments of the PGA.
Okay.
You talk about the PGA Tour, which is the playing side, totally separate from the PGA of America, which is basically the golf professionals that work in the industry.
Okay.
And that's what I've been a member of since 1976. So,
wow.
So that's kind of the way. I was a member of both from 77, 78, 79, 80, 81.
Wow.
And, spent a lot of time, playing at that time. And, but I always liked the business. I always found that, I loved creating new businesses and, I loved the challenge of it.
Yeah.
And, we were kind of semi-retired. My business partner, Greg Johannesson, back in 2018, and we got a call from people that had just purchased the what was called the Links at Lincoln,
right?
And they were looking for somebody to manage the little 9-hole course because they owned quite a few apartment complexes, but this was the only one that had a golf course. So we worked out an arrangement with them and started basically in the middle of May of 2018. Working at a course that had a lot of problems when we got to it. Wasn't in very good shape.
I see.
And so there wasn't much we could do for several months because of the rain in May and the heat in June. We couldn't do much. The greens were in kind of sorry shape. So we have spent the last 3 years kind of building up that business. They never had a liquor license. We secured that toward the end of 2018. So as you might expect in the golf business, which I know you're not a huge golfer, Taylor, but but that's kind of a game changer.
Absolutely.
It does help you, secure leagues and outings and other areas where you can make some money. Members are more apt to join if there's more of a social aspect to your golf course. So, and that's kind of what we've been trying to do the last 3 years is kind of build up that momentum a little bit. We've offered more programs for the members, more couples events and tournaments and that sort of thing that members look forward to. There's been a men's league there for a long time that we're just kind of continuing that. This year we're actually starting a ladies league as well, and then doing a lot of couples events. So that used to happen about once a month. Now it's every couple of weeks. And we went from having half a dozen couples to selling it out with 20-some couples. So
that's exciting.
Yeah, it's definitely trending in the right direction. And probably the biggest, one of the biggest areas for us. About 12, 13 years ago, we patented a golf club fitting system.
Really?
Yes, and that's kind of kind of one of the things that separates us, I think, from a lot of other golf courses.
Okay.
Greg Johannesson is also a member of the PGA. He's kind of the genius behind the system. We've spent a lot of time, developing that system. It's now web-based, so we can actually, people all over the world can go online and get a fit through our system by answering a few questions. We have a lot more people that will come out to our golf course and go through an on-site fitting. We have a fitting trailer that we pull out to our range tee that's got all the different components that help you fit. Like I said, we have a patented system that we think's the best. It's very unique. Does some things a little differently than even the major manufacturers. So anyway, we know that that's a big deal for us, for our business. Greg is also probably the best club repair guy around, and a lot of that's due to our fitting system, which looks at the overall balance of a golf club for a player based on how they swing the golf club and how strong they are.
Right.
Everybody's kind of got a different
individual
profile. Absolutely. So we think we pay attention to a lot more things, and we're very precise in our measurements. And fortunately, several of the companies are pretty good about hitting our mark. So we've seen that business increase a lot in the 3 years we've been at the Fairways, and that'll continue to be a strong part of our business.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm not a huge golf guy, and you actually kind of explained the fitting process pretty well. I can imagine some of our audience is very familiar with golf clubs, fitting. Personally, I've played hockey, so I've got this Happy Gilmore kind of idea of
there's
golf clubs.
Some similarities, there really are. A lot of the techniques is similar to hockey, and that's why a lot of hockey players are pretty good golfers.
Okay.
And so anyway, that's kind of one of the things we've done along with our tournament program, trying to increase that. So we've had a lot more memberships over the 3 years that we've been there, grown from just a few members up to close to 50 memberships now, which represents about 100 different people. So that, and with all the residents out at which is, of course, is now called the Fairways, not the Links. There's usually 1,000 people or more living right on site there at the 612 unit apartment complex. So we think it's a phenomenal facility overall, not just the golf course, but they got a great pool, they got a huge fitness area, they got tanning beds, they got jacuzzi.
Really?
So they really do some good things out there. So we think we partner with them very well to make us both successful.
Yeah, we were actually out there last week, I believe, earlier in the week, and it was amazing. I mean, it was really a lot nicer last week. Beautiful weather.
Yeah.
Everything's really greened up. The lake or the little pond area is beautiful too. Putting green looked amazing. And the pub there is kind of a cozy little spot. It's cute.
Yeah, we're working on that all the time, trying to make it a little better. We've kind of upped our food game a little bit. We're able to offer a few more things menu-wise than we used to. We've hired a nice young lady, Kenya Kennedy, who's our cook. She does a nice job, and you sat out on the patio, I assume, for a little bit of that, and that's probably one of the better views in town as far as just sitting out on a back deck.
Absolutely.
And you're not looking at a parking lot like some of the downtown patios are. This is actually looking at nice green grass out in front of you. And so we really like that aspect of it too, and we think that all the things we're doing are trying to increase the business basically.
Absolutely, yeah, it's a great opportunity to bring friends, bring family, a large wide open patio space, really cool fire pit too. Like I was impressed. That was a serious fire pit. I'm kind of a connoisseur of fire. I don't know if you are familiar with performance art at all. I dabble in fire dancing. It's kind of like the island thing where they play with fire. Yeah. That's kind of my side gig. So anytime I recognize...
I think there's help for that, Taylor.
There probably is a little bit. It's not a huge market, especially here in Lincoln, but it's fun at parties. It has its opportunities. So we're really glad to have you here. Did we reach out to you? Did you reach out to us? I'm not in the sales department, so I'm kind of curious. How did we even begin this relationship?
You know what? I don't remember. I remember they kind of reached out to me, and I was interested at the time because, we've got about 18,000 people that played golf there last year, and we have about over 1,000 people in the residences. So I want to keep marketing to those people in particular. Right. And then, if we expand the reach outside of that a little bit, that's all well and good too.
Of course.
But, so we met, had a nice conversation, and felt like, they kind of got what I was, telling them about, where we needed to put our emphasis. And if they felt like they could grow that part of the business, then I'm all in. Let's see where we can go with this in the next few months. So, timing's right too. We're just getting into the season. So, if you're gonna grow your business, especially in golf, you want to do it in the spring and early summer.
Absolutely.
So people are fired up. So
yeah, it's really cool to hear about your patented fitting system and the fact that you have a web-based platform as well. I would say that really sets you apart, because obviously you can go in, meet with a professional traditionally, but nowadays doing anything online really people notice that, and it's a way to connect with an audience, a wider audience, and really it's like a branding opportunity. It's, everybody's online nowadays, whether you're on social media, you have a website, mobile app, and obviously that's what we do all day. We're on computers, we're on technology. I mean, we're happy to expand our clients, our partners. We're happy to, the networking opportunities are really endless with technology, and it's really fascinating to see, to hear about a golf course, it seems like you're stepping out of the traditional realm and into the future of technology.
Well, we for a couple old guys, we're trying to, keep up with some of those things. And the thing that, we recognize, and because we've been doing this for so long, my partner kind of figured out a way that, we don't need to have people on site necessarily. The one thing about our system is they can go through our what we call the fast fit deal, which is about an 8-question deal that once they answer that, we'll be able to tell them the specifications of an entire set of golf clubs.
Oh, wow.
And, we're able to make some assumptions based on, a couple decades of experience doing this,
right.
And we feel like we know our people pretty well. And even if we would miss the mark by just a little bit, the fact that all the clubs are balanced throughout the set, you can adjust to that. Where we find the big problem with people is if they buy a driver one day and irons the next, and whoever fit them for the driver doesn't say, "Hey, does this is going to match your irons?" And most of the time it doesn't, because they're not even thinking about that.
Okay.
So that's what we were able to do, because you can adjust to a fully balanced set of golf clubs if they're really close to what you need anyway.
Okay.
It's where you run into problems. It's where you get one club that's maybe head heavy, and then the next club you pull out of your bag is head light.
Completely
and all of a sudden you're getting to the ball at a different time, and you think it's you. And a lot of times it is the equipment. It's just not where it should be for you. So
well, it's really fascinating, especially for someone who's completely unfamiliar with this, technology. It's like you're getting down to a science. You've really got the expertise, the know-how to leverage your experience in the industry to really give a better swing, give a better experience, give a better set of clubs ultimately to your customers and your clients. That's impressive.
That's kind of how we, PGA of America has been trying to grow the game for a long time, and COVID is one thing that's kind of helped get a lot of people back into golf, because it's one of the few sports that you could do.
Absolutely.
And so we found that was good, and we think that if people have the right equipment in their hands, they're going to tend to play more because they're having more fun, more successful out there. So we think that's kind of our way of growing the game, and along with getting people out there and having fun events for them to do. So
yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, we encourage people to come check out our little golf course. Although I wouldn't come like Monday or Tuesday next week, because we're going to be aerifying greens, so it's going to be a little. But the greens are running great. You always hate to do aerifying, but it's one thing that we've had to do out there because of the condition it was in when we first got there. It hadn't been airified in quite a while, and the mix below the surface was not good as a result. So anyway, it's now really good, and it'll be really good in another week. So
fantastic. Well, that's really cool to hear. You mentioned couples events. Are there any other upcoming events, promotions, specials that you'd love to promote a little bit?
One of our head pro, Matt Elrich, who's a character. He was in the PGM program at the University of Nebraska. He's going to get his Class A card here any day now. He's put together some events. He's got his nickname is Matty Ice, and he loves running tournaments. So we had the Ice Invitational last year, and one we got coming up next month. It's like May 15th, 16th. It's called Bunch O' Hacks Tournament. It's a 2-day scramble, 4-man deal with a Calcutta on Friday night. So it'll be another fun event, and it's filling up. So call the Fairways if you want to get in that. Sign up your team.
Absolutely. Yeah. Fantastic. Well, you've mentioned your business partner. You mentioned Matty Ice. You mentioned Kenya. Are there any other members of the team or staff members that you'd really love to highlight or shout out?
We're a small operation. We handle the maintenance of the golf course too. Our superintendent, Jim Cullinane, his probably right-hand man is a guy named Earl Nannon. Those guys have done a nice job on our golf course. I've got a couple of PGM interns, Joe Sherman and Eric Kavork, who are working for me, and they do a nice job. They want to be in the business, so those are the kind of people you want kind of helping.
Now, is that Joe the bartender, or is that a separate Joe? Because I think we met
Joe
a bartender as well.
Joe. That's another thing about a small operation. You got to wear a lot of hats. So
we completely understand that here.
Was he your waitress too, or waiter?
Something like that. Yeah.
So he probably had to do a little everything. He might even have thrown the fries in the fryer. I don't know.
Oh man, he was really friendly.
As he was getting the cart out and taking care of other customers. That's kind of what we do. I mean, it's kind of fun because you're doing a lot of different things in our operation, and we tell people it's like here's your job, but not limited to. There's 47 things. There might be 20 more that we have to have
other duties as required.
Absolutely. So
we're very familiar with that around here. We love to wear multiple hats.
A small operation, you got to be that way. It's the only way. You got to find those people that are like that. That like doing a lot of different things in a day. I do. I who likes to sit at the desk and do the same thing all the time.
No. Anyway. Absolutely. Every day's a new adventure, a different opportunity to grow and learn and develop new skills. And I think that kind of team also probably sets you apart as well, because, there are these really specific, specialized people and fields. And I think if you can kind of cover the bases a little more, you have a more rich personality, a little bit more mature, maybe understanding of personal interactions, human relations, that kind of thing. And so I'm sure your customer service is just beyond.
We try. You got to hire the right personalities back there. Matt's great from that standpoint. He brags about making the best Bloody Mary around. He thinks he's just a little bit better cook than Kenya. So,
a little friendly competition there.
But it's fun. I mean, we try and keep the atmosphere fairly loose out there, and people come out to play golf to have a good time. So you don't want to discourage that. You want to encourage that. So
absolutely,
that's what we try and do. So
fantastic. Yeah. Well, it's been great having you on the show. Do you have any final message for the audience?
Well, if you haven't played out there, or the last time you played was several years ago, I would definitely give it another try. The golf course, from a course rating standpoint, something that is unfamiliar to you as Taylor, but our golf course is actually rated harder than any of the public courses in town.
Like a stricter standard?
Well, it's just got a lot of great elements to it. I mean, you saw it out there. It's got rolling hills. It's got water. It's got out of bounds. It's got bunkers. It's got all the elements. It's a short, not super short, but fairly short golf course that is somewhat demanding. And, with really good greens, I think people would be impressed coming out and playing it. It's a lot of fun.
Fantastic. Well, we welcome anybody out there who may be a pro, maybe a complete amateur like myself, whether you need a fitting or you have your own clubs, or you just want to hang out and spend some time with the friends and family. We absolutely encourage you to check out Fairways at Lincoln. It's a great time. And it's been a great pleasure having you on the show, Jim. Thanks for joining us.
Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic.